There was a time when men didn't wait to feel motivated. They woke up disciplined, they acted with precision, and they stayed calm under pressure. These men were samurai. They lived in a world where hesitation meant death and excuses meant failure. So they built a mind that did not depend on emotion. Today, we live in comfort, but most people are mentally weak. They start strong, then quit. They feel inspired, then disappear. What if I told you the samurai solved this problem centuries ago? In this video, you'll learn the samurai secret to perfect self-discipline, a daily ritual that builds an unbreakable mind. No motivation needed, no hype, just a system that works. Watch carefully, because this may change how you live your life. The samurai lived under constant pressure. Every decision mattered. Every action had consequences. They didn't live in a world of comfort. They lived in a world where a single mistake could cost everything. There was no room for laziness, no tolerance for inconsistency, no excuse for weakness. So the samurai understood something most people today have forgotten. Motivation is unreliable. Emotions change, energy fades, feelings lie. If your discipline depends on how you feel, you will fail the moment life becomes uncomfortable. That is why the samurai never built their lives on motivation. They built a system, a way of living that trained the mind daily, whether they felt ready or not. This system wasn't created in a book. It wasn't invented by a guru. It was forged in real combat, refined through loss, sharpened by responsibility. Generation after generation, the samurai passed this system down, not as theory, but as survival. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The world has changed, but the human mind has not. Fear still controls behavior. Comfort still weakens discipline, and distraction still destroys focus. That's why modern people struggle to stay consistent. They wait to feel motivated. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel ready. The samurai never waited. They trained first, they acted second, and they felt ready later. In this video, I will break down the samurai system for perfect self-discipline, a system built on 3 core practices: simple, uncomfortable, and brutally effective. If you apply these principles, you won't need motivation anymore. You'll become disciplined by default. Let's begin.
The samurai always began the day with stillness. Not movement, not noise. Stillness. Before they trained the body, before they faced conflict, they trained the mind. They understood one simple truth: a scattered mind creates weak action. So every morning, before armor was worn and swords were lifted, the samurai practiced silence. No distractions, no urgency, no chaos. Here is how you apply this ritual today. When you wake up, do not touch your phone. No messages, no notifications, no dopamine. Sit down, spine straight, feet grounded. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. In through the nose, hold for a moment, out through the mouth. Let the breath slow your nervous system. Now comes the most important part. Visualize your day. The difficult conversations, the hard tasks, the resistance you don't want to face. But do not imagine stress. Imagine yourself calm, focused, controlled, unshaken. This is not positive thinking. This is mental conditioning. You are teaching your mind how to respond before pressure appears. The samurai did this because fear shows up before the battle begins. If you win the morning, you control the rest of the day. A calm mind wastes no energy. It doesn't panic, it doesn't rush, it doesn't react emotionally. It moves with clarity. This ritual builds discipline quietly. No hype, no motivation, just repetition. Do this every morning for 30 days, and you will notice something change. You become harder to distract, harder to shake, harder to control. This is how discipline begins, not with action, but with focus.
The samurai did not chase sudden greatness. They chased mastery. And mastery was built through repetition. There's a Japanese principle the samurai lived by, kaizen, continuous improvement through small, deliberate actions. They did not try to become unstoppable in one day. They improved 1% every single day. One movement, one stance, one strike, repeated until it became instinct. This is where most people fail today. They set goals that are too big. They try to change everything at once. And when the effort feels heavy, they quit. The samurai understood something modern people ignore. The mind resists pressure, but it accepts simplicity. That's why discipline must begin small. Here is how you apply kaizen to your life. Choose one habit. Not 10, not 5, 1. Then make it so small you cannot fail. 5 push-ups, 5 minutes of reading, one focused task completed without distraction. That's it. No intensity, no motivation, just consistency. When the habit is small, the mind does not argue. There is no fear, no resistance, and because it feels easy, you repeat it, day after day. Repetition builds identity. You stop saying, "I'm trying." You start saying, "This is who I am." The samurai trained this way because battles are not won with emotion. They are won with reliability. A warrior who shows up every day beats one who relies on bursts of effort. Discipline is not built through intensity. It is built through repetition. And repetition is powered by small, consistent wins. This is kaizen. Quiet, simple, unstoppable. What you repeat daily becomes your character, and character decides your future. Every samurai ended the day with reflection. Not with emotion, not with excuses, but with honesty. They believed that a day without reflection was a day wasted. Victory was not decided only on the battlefield. It was decided in the quiet moments at night, when the armor was removed, when no one was watching. The samurai asked themselves one question: did I live according to my code today? You must do the same, because discipline dies in darkness. If you don't look at your behavior, you will repeat the same mistakes. Reflection brings awareness, and awareness creates control. Here is the samurai reflection ritual. Every night before sleep, take a notebook. No phone, no distraction. Write honestly. There are only 3 questions. First, what did I do well today? This builds confidence through truth, not ego. Every samurai ended the day with reflection. Not with emotion, not with excuses, but with honesty. They believed that a day without reflection was a day wasted. Victory was not decided only on the battlefield. It was decided in the quiet moments at night, when the armor was removed, when no one was watching. The samurai asked themselves one question: did I live according to my code today? You must do the same, because discipline dies in darkness. If you don't look at your behavior, you will repeat the same mistakes. Reflection brings awareness, and awareness creates control. Here is the samurai reflection ritual. Every night before sleep, take a notebook. No phone, no distraction. Write honestly. There are only 3 questions. First, what did I do well today? This builds confidence through truth, not ego. You acknowledge effort. You recognize discipline. Second, where did I hesitate or avoid discomfort? This is the hardest question because it exposes fear. Moments where you delayed, moments where you chose comfort. Write them down, not to judge yourself, but to face reality. A man who cannot face himself cannot control himself. Third, what must improve tomorrow? Not everything, just one thing, one adjustment, one correction. This is how progress stays manageable. This ritual creates accountability, because once something is written, it cannot be ignored. You stop lying to yourself, and a man who tells himself the truth becomes dangerous. The samurai understood this. They knew discipline is not built through punishment, it is built through awareness. If you reflect daily, you cannot remain weak. You see your patterns, you correct them, and slowly you sharpen your character. This is how discipline is maintained, not in moments of motivation, but in quiet honesty, day after day. This is the final pillar. Focus in the morning, consistency through kaizen, and accountability at night. This is the samurai system. Simple, relentless, unbreakable. Morning trains your mind. Day trains your actions. Night trains your awareness. This system is not random, it is complete. Most people fail at discipline because they rely on emotion. They wait to feel motivated. They wait to feel ready. But emotions change. The samurai understood this. They removed emotion from discipline. They replaced it with structure. In the morning, you condition the mind. You decide who you will be before the world decides for you. This creates mental clarity. During the day, you take small, deliberate actions, not heroic efforts, consistent effort. This builds trust with yourself. Every action becomes a vote for the man you are becoming. At night, you reflect. You bring light to your behavior. You see clearly. Awareness destroys self-deception, and without self-deception, discipline becomes simple. This system works because it creates identity. You no longer ask, "Do I feel like doing this?" You ask, "Is this who I am?" Once discipline becomes identity, it becomes automatic. This is why samurai were calm under pressure. They were not reacting, they were executing. They had trained the mind, the body, and the spirit every single day. This system doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. And presence, practiced daily, creates power. This is how self-discipline stops being a struggle and becomes a way of life. Self-discipline is not talent. It is training, and now you have the system. For the next 30 days, apply it. Every morning, condition your mind. Every day, move forward with small, deliberate actions. Every night, reflect honestly. No motivation, no excuses, only consistency. If you do this, you will not recognize yourself in 30 days because discipline will no longer be something you try to have. It will be who you are. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel. This is Presence and Path, where discipline becomes identity. Walk the path and stay present.